Welcome. Fun topic today. Back to the basics, right? The nuts and bolts of this business here. We're going to talk about pitching. Um, yeah, just getting into the nitty gritty. We all have those horror stories, right? Of like the pitch that went out, there was a mistake, there was something incorrect, and we frantically wish we could recall it. These things happen. So we're going to go through a list of the 9 pitch elements that we want you to double check, triple check, have somebody else look at them if possible before you hit that send button. While we're talking about these things, we're going to also go through some tips on how to make your pitches stand out from the crowd. So the 9 things that you need to have on your pitch email review checklist. The first is your subject line engaging? It's the first thing that they're going to see. Your media contact is going to decide whether to open the email or not based on the subject. So you better make it good. We know short, sweet, to the point, grab a journalist's attention. But that doesn't mean clickbait, okay? Many editors will toss clickbaity emails right in the trash. They feel generic. They feel like they're not targeted and strategic. They just feel like, oh, sensationalist, open it, and they know it's not really for them. And anything that's confusing, hard to read, that is not going to inspire anybody to click. If the subject line is difficult to decipher, your media contact is going to think that your pitch is just more of the same. So you want to make sure that the subject line does connect to the full pitch, but it's not a summary, okay? It's enough to get them to open your email. That's it. That's the goal of the subject. Does this entice them to want to learn more about what is in this email? Summarize the most relevant statistic in the subject. Keep things to the point. Don't beat around the bush with the main story. You can even put their name in the subject so it's really clear that it is not spray and pray. Second, is the contact's name correct? Oh my God. Seriously, tons of journalists receive pitches every single day with their name misspelled or completely inaccurate. So double check that the media contact's full name, and also check their title if there's a beat related to what they cover in your database. Check that, because you want to make sure they are still the relevant contact. So while you're double, triple checking how to spell their name correctly, you can confirm in your database, hopefully it's up to date. You're also going to look and make sure that they are where they were when you last had them on your list. If you follow them on social media, you should be up to date on any name or title changes or anything with like a recent marriage, they changed their name, or a promotion. When you have this correct name, that is just the very first step to building a strong relationship with your media contact. When you use their name specifically, it really signals to them that the pitch is written for them specifically. This is a fellow comms pro. You want to make sure that the journalist doesn't just see you seeing them as somebody who can give you what you want. Number 3, are you pitching the right journalist and publication? The media landscape moves fast. Journalists jump between publications, especially if they're freelancers or there's layoffs, and we want to be really sensitive to that. So double check your contact is still working with the publication that you think they are. The first place that they will update is probably their social media pages, and for sure LinkedIn, with any of their latest pieces and any job updates. So if anything's changed that you've noticed on social, update their email address, what the beat is, what the publication is. You might even want to send them a DM and like reach out and just, hey, we used to work together at this publication. I see that you've taken on some additional responsibilities over here. I just wanted to let you know that I'll be, like, I found you in your new place and I'll be reaching out to you. When you have all of that new information, you might have to edit the email that you're sending as your pitch with that new publication and the new beat, or you might have to send it to an entirely different journalist if they're no longer covering content that's relevant to you and your clients, and you still want to pitch that old publication. You have to find someone else there. Number 4 is probably the most important and so easy to do and so often overlooked is your pitch personalized? So you want to obviously get their name right. That's one thing, but you need to personalize the rest of the pitch. So you open your email with a personalized greeting. It shows that you're checked into their work. You can compliment a recent piece of theirs, congratulate them on a job update. If they talked about tips and strategies in that article that you liked, let them know what resonated with you. Let them know. You can also send well wishes for a personal event like marriage or birth of a child or an upcoming trip or a trip they just took. Think of a new, interesting angle that will help differentiate what you're pitching to them from recent work. Don't send a pitch that is unrelated to the media contact's work. Okay, number 5, are you telling a relevant, timely, and newsworthy story? Why are you pitching the story, and why is it important right now? You need to make sure that your pitch email answers those questions. And if it's not clear in that email, you need to rework it immediately before sending it. They only want to write about and publish stories that will provide value. Value is the key word here to their readers and the industry as a whole. You want to consider why your client's product or service is relevant to their readers now. So today, why is this relevant to their readers, and what impact could it have on your client's industry? So you want to paint a full picture for your media contacts so they know why they should care, and then in turn why their audience should care. Okay, 6, stats, claims, data. Love it. Always, 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 always check first. Fact check your pitch to ensure that stats, claims, data is accurate. Price points are accurate. You really don't get a chance to fact check anymore after, sometimes you don't even get a heads up that they're publishing. So you have to ensure that your pitch has no errors in the stats or claims that you're making. If you send a pitch littered with errors and mistakes or things you have to go back and fix or grammatical errors, that is going to diminish your credibility with this contact. As PR pros, you never want to be the one that is responsible for your contact publishing something factually inaccurate. They will not reach out to you if you have a history of giving them inaccurate information. You also need to ensure that you're honest about your client's product. You don't oversell it, don't overpromise results if those results have not been proven by surveys, studies, like before and afters in a clinical setting, things that are like third-party verifiable. You can't make claims. Stats and data add authority to your pitch. We love it. It is definitely a great strategy to include it. So you need to make sure that what you're putting in there is correct. By the by, if you have used AI to spark pitch angle ideas, you have to ensure triple, double, triple, quadruple check that none of the AI's original response has made it into your pitch. This is a huge no-no. Any pitch or any writing that feels like AI, like Bard, ChatGPT, anything that feels like it was generated through AI is going to get bounced, and you are going to get bounced along with it. So number 7 is ensuring all of your links are working. So this is a very simple thing to check, but it goes a long way in your pitch emails. It's really easy to accidentally add a dead link to your pitch. It could be that there's like a little character that's missing when you copy it, or that the client might have updated the page's URL without you knowing it. And maybe it's a WeTransfer link with all of your assets and it's now expired, or somebody changed the Google Drive or the Google Docs links without sharing permissions. All of those things impact how a link works. So you have to triple check that they are still working. Journalists don't have the time to do all of this like searching and Googling themselves if a link to your client's website is a dud. So if your pitch is including bad links, it'll be headed straight to the delete button. And if you're sharing additional documents like images, videos, any graphs, charts, anything like that in a Dropbox, Google Drive, make sure everything that's supposed to be in the file is in the file, and that things that are not supposed to be in that file are not in the file. Remember, no attachments. A link to all of your documents is great. No attachments. The second to last tip I have for you, number 8, is your call to action, CTA, if you don't know, like call to action, CTA, is it motivating? Your pitch email should always end with a clear call to action for that contact. What is their next step that they should take in order to kind of move this forward? So this could be scheduling an interview with your client, chatting with you further, answering questions, requesting additional information to kind of flesh out the story. It could be confirming their address for a sample. An effective call to action is empowering, it's direct, it's succinct, it's very motivating. So don't beat around the bush or be vague in the next steps that they should take. You can phrase the call to action as a question to prompt a direct response from your contacts. You could say something like, is this something you're interested in covering? Let me know the best time and I can set up an interview with my client. It's more direct and more clear than, if you're interested in this story, please reach out to schedule an interview. The last tip I have for you, obviously, goes without saying, grammar, spelling, you have to be perfect. Is it all correct and accurate? You have to proofread your pitch emails before you send them, but it is always, always worth repeating the review with fresh eyes. You want to ensure that the grammar is correct, spelling is correct, because just like including inaccurate information, if you have improper grammar or bad spelling, that will damage your credibility with that writer. Any spelling error that slips through the cracks could have a big impact on the final pitch. So think something like an incorrectly spelled expert name, or an incorrect source name, or a product being misspelled, or the brand name not being written the way that the brand uses their name. Look at your pitch with a fresh set of eyes, have somebody else look at it in a different format, print out your pitch and read it so that you have a hard copy to look at and edit, because that will always give you a different perspective. Okay, have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye, guys.